So for some reason, there's always been this kind of weird preconceived notion that you can't drive a rear-wheel drive car in the winter. And today I think I'm going to do my best to kind of disprove that statement a little bit. So for those of you that don't know me, I bought a 2018 Ford Mustang GT. I think this was about 3 months ago. It's currently January of 2023, and I am living in Wyoming currently, so you can only imagine how certain people would think of that. But I decided to make this my daily driver and do a winter tire setup and all of that. So let's go see my setup and see how it works. Hey buddy. Hey Bodes. So this is my 2018 Mustang GT. As you can see, it is absolutely filthy right now. It's in Kona Blue. It's a base non-performance pack. And this is the current tire setup I have. So I have the original 18-inch base Mustang wheels. And then these are the Cooper Evolution. They're basically the cheapest winter tires I could get. I think I ended up paying $250 a piece for those. Welcome to 2023. And those are 235/50 R18 all the way around. So before we go for a drive, why don't we just go over the main reasons why most people think that rear-wheel drive cars in the winter aren't a good idea. The first and foremost being that the car is rear-wheel drive. That means all the power is delivered to the rear wheels, and basically what that means is there's almost no weight in the front and all the weight is concentrated in the rear. And so this can cause your rear end to go out very quickly and the front end to break loose extremely quickly. And obviously this is not a good thing, but as you'll see in just a little bit with the right tire setup, I think it's perfectly fine to drive with in the winter. Now the second reason people might not be fond of driving these things in the winter is the fact that it has a lot of torque. And if you know anything about driving in the winter, high power sports cars are not the best because you want extremely light throttle inputs, extremely light steering inputs, and having a lot of torque can be very difficult to deal with at times, but I think that's more on the driver and less on the car. So before we go for a drive, I just decided I should probably tell you guys that these tires will not do everything for you. There's a couple things that you need to know before hopping on winter roads in a sports car like this. Now the first thing I'm going to say is, despite the fact that I think that I am extremely safe in this car, you definitely need to know how to drive in winter. The tires aren't going to do it for you. So basically, always be extremely light on the throttle and extremely light on the brake. If you do any of those things too hard, you'll definitely break the car loose and go into a skid. You know, it's nothing that's not manageable like any other car, but just safe driving practices. Safe driving practices. So the next thing I'm going to tell you guys to do is always leave extra room between you and the car in front of you. The last thing you want to do is spend all your hard-earned money being able to afford this car and crashing into somebody on the first day you get it. So, you know, practice good winter driving habits and you'll be just fine. But leave more room to stop, leave more room to go, and yeah, just be a good, you know, Samaritan on the road. So I've been driving on this setup for about a month and a half now on winter Wyoming roads, and to say the least, they were great. I mean, I feel just as confident in this car as I ever have in any other car driving in the winter, and you can see if we just go look at the road conditions right now. I mean, it's just ice and snow. Most of it's packed snow right now, but not good stuff. Before, when I had the all seasons, getting out of this driveway, you can see how it takes a right-hand turn up a hill was basically impossible. The front would break loose right away. And so ever since then, when I switched to the winter tires, it's worked absolutely fantastic for me. So now that we got that out of the way, I think it's time to go for a drive. I'm just gonna put the GoPro on and have you guys look at the POV. I might talk a little bit, but yeah, let's go for a drive and get a cold start first. Okay, so it is about 3 weeks later after I filmed that first portion of the video, and I kind of just decided to wait a little bit to where we really got a lot of snow to really showcase what this car can do in the wintertime. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and go on a quick drive. I just have a GoPro set up in front of me so you guys can kind of see that view. For a little backstory, we just got about 13 to 14 inches of snow, and right now it's sitting at -4 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so definitely winter conditions here. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking and let's get the drive going. So first off, I did have to shovel behind me because there was like probably a foot high drift, snow drift. So let's see how it goes getting out of here. Definitely having little issues. Like I said, we're going through a massive snowdrift here, so just bear with me. Alrighty, looks like we got through it. Okay, and we're off to the races. So typically I do like to start in second gear, just to put a little less torque to the tires. But one thing you definitely have to watch out for is your ground clearance, because that's going to be your main issue in these winter driving conditions. Sorry for the audio. You're going to be hearing my foot scraping back and forth on the clutch pedal. Just wet feet tend to do that. But yeah, I mean, here we are. We're driving on really bad snow. I mean, well, pretty much unplowed area right here, and it's really handling it just fine. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording real quick and just darken it up for you guys so I can see that it's way overexposed. Okay, that should be a little bit better for you guys. Sorry about that. I just saw with all the bright snow outside, it's probably definitely way overexposed. But just a quick cut and we're back to it. I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking the whole time, and so you guys can just kind of enjoy the drive and see how it does. So we're definitely getting a little bit of slipping here and there, but really. It's just all about letting off the gas and letting it straighten itself out. We do have traction control on. Pretty soon I'm probably going to turn it off because I like driving with it off. It keeps it from bogging down the power, especially coming up on a uphill slope at a stop sign. So this right here is about the worst case scenario for bad roads. You have a stoplight, you're going to come to a complete stop, and you have an uphill road. So we'll see how it does. Ended up not coming to a complete stop, which is a good thing, but did great. I do have traction control off now. Keep in mind I do have advanced track still on, so that's your stability control. Of course, it is a Ford, so you're going to hear little creaks and rattles and stuff with all the uneven terrain right here on the road. Don't be surprised if you hear all kinds of weird stuff in the audio, all the creaks, all the rattles. I love Ford, but it's definitely an issue with all the hard plastics and things in the interior, so just keep that in mind. And then I also apologize if there is a little bit of heater audio from the air blowing from the heater. It is -5 outside right now, so I bet you guys can understand. Now it's braking really nicely. I mean, it feels great. As good as any other car I've driven. WRX looking like I'm absolutely nuts. This is a 6-speed manual, so I'm in control of the gears. I typically like to run in a slower gear than you normally would. So like if I'm going 30, I'm probably in 4th gear in weather like this. And then to brake, I do rev match downshift, and that allows me the ability to engine brake and not use my brake near as much as I normally would. Little squirrely on the start there, but again, this is about as bad as I've ever driven this car in terms of weather, and it's doing really great. I mean, these winter tires do make a massive difference. This is about the worst case scenario that anyone will probably be driving this car in. And it is squirrely, but as long as you go slow, that's the main key. Go slow and you will be fine. Under normal snowy conditions, it is amazing. This is about as bad of a storm as we get, and so that's kind of, it is a little more sketchy than it usually is, but at the end of the day, I'm out here on the road in a Coyote 5.0 in this kind of weather, so what better can you ask for? Okay, well, I think I'm gonna cut it there. I hope you guys enjoyed this drive with me. That was about 7.5 minutes, so I figured that would be probably enough before you sit here and just get bored. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna get home safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I appreciate y'all being here. Peace.